Did you hear about the border stone that got moved and made Belgium a little bit bigger and France a little bit smaller? It's quite a fun story, so I thought we'd go and see if we can find the border stone that got moved. I'm in a town which I can't remember the name of, but it's just outside a place called Erquelinnes on the border with France. I found this street called Rue Esperanto, named after the international language created by L. Zamenhof. And then English took over the world. And over the road here there's a statue showing that we're in Solre-sur-Sambre. You will just be walking along a country road in Belgium sometimes and come across a vending machine selling wine and beer. Look, you can even buy meals in here. We've got Greek rabbit here, lasagna. And they're not, you know, this kind of mass-produced rubbish. It seems to be meals produced by the restaurant and they put it in a vending machine for people to come and buy. Do you remember my video when I went looking for tulips? Well, I've just found some by accident here in Wallonia, in the French-speaking part of Belgium. They don't quite look like this today. There's not so many left, but what you do is you just cut off whatever you want and you leave some money. They've also put their bank details there. You can also buy some legal highs on this road. Legal highs on the highway. By the side of the road, some wigs. Must have been a truck carrying wigs crashed along here. Would you like to have a little bit of an old church remaining outside your house? We've come off the main road now. A typical Wallonian village. These little cottages. Look, this car's almost the size of this house. You can tell we're in the borderland. These cars are a mix of French and Belgian registrations in the same house. I found one of the border stones. It's not the one I'm looking for. This one's in the correct place, it seems, according to the map. But it means that we're at least on the border now and I'm about to go into France. Here's another one, but again, not the right one. So you can see there on that corner, just where the field meets the trees and the road, and you got this stone here. That's the border. It runs along this road, and now I'm going into France. So this road is actually half in France and half in Belgium. I've just had a look at the map and it seems like it's quite a walk round to get to where I want to, where I suspect this stone might be. It seems like a lot of the forest here is private land. And as you saw back there, the stones are really very heavy. They're about 150 kilos, so it takes a lot to move them. So I suspect they're next to some farmland. I've had a look on the map. I think my best option is to walk a bit into France, then kind of double back round towards the border. Bienvenue en France! Even in this border region there are still remnants from the world wars, from in this case the Second World War. You can see here a homage to some of the British forces who served in the RAF during the Second World War. I wanted to walk up here, but it looks like it's barbed wired off and I don't want to make anyone angry. Don't want an angry French farmer getting me arrested. I'm failing so badly so far. Every little road I want to walk up is blocked. It says it's a private road. And obviously Google Maps doesn't tell you what the private roads are. There's like a guard cow. It keeps mooing really loudly at me. Getting a bit scared. I usually love cows, but let's get out of here. Well, this is a nice little discovery, isn't it? Bousignies-sur-Roc. Look at the town hall. And here's the Fontaine des... I can't read it. Is it working? It says it's not drinkable. So I'm not sure what the point of it is. Something I always find a bit curious about France is how they like giving everything numbers. Gîtes are these kind of like, not really hotels, more like these like kind of holiday huts or holiday villages you might go and stay in. And here's an advert telling you where one of them is. And this one isn't called Gîte de France, Bousignies-sur-Roc, for example, where we are, but instead it's given a number. You get this as well with the Département de la France, the different regions of France are each given a number. So sometimes you meet a French person, they might not say that they're from the name of a certain department, they might say which number they come from, which I just find really strange as a concept. They do this like in Paris as well. They have arrondissement, these different neighbourhoods of the city, and they're all given a number. So instead of being like me in Brussels saying, oh, I'm from Merol, I would say, oh, I'm from the 18th.
Ah, et vous êtes venu pour la borne?
Oui. Pour le voir. C'est une curiosité, non?
Oui, mais j'ai vu tous les reportages. Par là, c'est la France. Par là, c'est la ville de Beaumont en Belgique. Donc, c'est pas par là. Alors, là-bas, c'est la Belgique, Bercilly. Là-bas, c'est la Belgique, Erquelinnes. C'est la frontière avec Erquelinnes, donc c'est soit, mais ici, c'est soit par là ou par là en fait. Donc ça doit être
d'accord,
de ce
je vais
côté-là.
tout droit,
Oui.
un
Tout
peu
droit, et puis peut-être tourner à droite dans le bois.
droite, un peu.
Oui.
Parfait.
Ça va, je suis désolée, mais...
Ah, pas de souci, merci.
Ça va, mais c'est...
Okay, she said she's pretty sure it's up this way, but she didn't sound too sure. She was still calling people, so I'm just gonna carry on up here a little bit and then turn right. So we're now leaving Bousignies-sur-Roc, and we're gonna just walk along a couple of the border roads and see if we can come across it there. Here, I believe up ahead of me is Belgium, and to the right we're still in France. So we're going to take a right, because I'm pretty sure it's near this forest, but you can't get into the parts of the forest I've been round so far. But maybe if we walk round this way we can find it. It's called the Bois de Fifou. It's a forest on the border. It's just a big rock. Doesn't seem to mark any borders. You can see over there though, maybe you can see up in the distance, there is a rock, and I do believe that is part of the border over there. We might be in France, but you can't get away from the Belgian beer. Another private road. There's an interesting shape, and I'm wondering if maybe Google Maps has updated itself according to the latest news. So I'm currently in France. I've just been in Belgium, and before that I was in France. But if I carry on walking along here, then I won't be near the border anymore. So I need to keep looking around this border area, I think. Because apparently it's only been moved about 2 meters, 7 feet. Okay, you can see here we are going into Belgium, but I have a feeling it could be to the left here. Now I've got some branches stuck on me.
À la borne.
Oui, la borne, déplacée.
Bah écoutez, de mémoire, c'est compliqué.
He did this typically French thing where I say born and he goes born. Born. French pronunciation's difficult.
Le mieux c'est de passer par Montignies Saint Christophe.
Par le,
voyez où
le
c'est
village.
Le petit village qui est là. Si vous voulez, pour gagner du temps, vous allez passer là.
Ah oui.
Et puis là, après, si vous voulez, vous demandez aux gens de Montigny. Mais de Montignies Saint Christophe, oui, c'est plus simple. Et le bois de Fifou, c'est le massif forestier qu'on voit là.
Qu'on voit sur la colline.
Voilà,
oui,
c'est ça. De Montignies Saint Christophe.
C'est là, l'église là, non?
C'est l'église qui est là. Et vous allez rattraper un petit chemin qui vous conduit, si vous voulez, qui vous conduit à Bousignies-sur-Roc. Vous trouvez le chemin, vous allez à gauche, vous descendez, vous allez arriver à un pont romain. Allez-y, allez-y monsieur. Voilà. Et
Merci.
Bonne chance.
Très bonne journée. What a kind man, walking me across this field and now across this land. He told me to walk across here. I'll get to a road and that will lead me easier to the village. So basically it seems like it's over where we first started our little mission, where there were one of these roads where it said it was private. I just realised that when I crossed those fields I crossed over from France into Belgium again. Around here, with the way the border's set up, it's very difficult to remember whether you're in France or in Belgium at any one time. Oh wow, look at this! Le Pont Romain, the Roman bridge. The information back there said that this little stream, the river, it runs all along the French border. Well, it would be great if it were the exact border, because then it would be easier to find this bloody stone. Look at this, it's like being in an episode of Emmerdale back home. I'm kind of in the back roads of Montignies Saint Christophe, the village that we first walked through just before we crossed the border into France earlier, the first time. Il y avait une borne récemment déplacée, non?
Oui. Ben vous continuez là, tout droit, sur ce chemin-là, et vous allez arriver, c'est là-bas.
C'est pas loin du chemin, non?
À l'entrée du bois.
À l'entrée du bois, excellent.
C'est là. Donc vous continuez là, vous allez arriver.
Here is exactly where we came off the main road earlier, you might remember. Sorry, I've taken you round in a big circle around this area of the Franco-Belgian border. I walked for about 3 hours looking for this. 4 hours if you include the walk from the train station. Bonjour, est-ce que vous savez où je peux trouver la borne déplacée?
Ah, je ne sais pas.
Okay guys, you're not going to believe this. I've just dug a little bit deeper into the French news. The stone was returned, or they put a new one there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it seems like it's in the right place, where the border should be effectively. So I reckon it was one of those two that we saw earlier. I've been walking all through this forest trying to find a rock, a big stone looking out of place, and it turns out it's not out of place anymore. Well guys, I'm going to say with quite a lot of confidence that this exact stone is the one that was causing all the controversy and all the headlines, all the news. I reckon it had been just over there, about 2 meters away from where I'm sat now, because in the videos I've seen there was a bit of barbed wire, and there's some barbed wire there. So I think I found it. I'm pretty sure it's in its rightful place now. It looks like it's been put in quite recently as well. It just feels like the ground around it has kind of been moved recently, compared to the other one over there around the corner, which is a lot more exposed. So I'm guessing the Belgian authorities did a good job of putting this in. You can see on it, it says 1819. That was the year of the Treaty of Courtrai, which basically brought the current border between France and Belgium into existence. But of course, this border barely exists now because of the Schengen area. So I guess the lesson I've learned today is, are these borders really even important anyway if you can't find them? Just so you can see, so that's the shape of it, and it looks kind of quite well eroded. And then you'll remember from before when we walked along here, there's another one just up here. But this isn't the one that was moved. You can see also there's some farmland there, so it must be that the farmer wanted a little bit more land. But this is actually a little bit of a question now as well. People, you know, this is quite a fun headline. People were talking about it. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Belgium gained a little bit of land. France lost a little bit of land. Ha, ha, ha. But actually, it's starting to become quite serious. It's, oh, what were the farmer's intentions? Was he trying to get a bit more land? I think it's just a bit of fun, really. And you know, look, it's a forest, nobody's really using it. Oh, you've got this little, maybe you can see this here. You've got this little flag thing here celebrating the bicentenary of the Born Frontière. The Born Frontière, that's the French name for these border stones. I'm not sure why they have a Dutch flag and a French flag. Yeah, and you can see this one is a bit more exposed. It's not so well in the land, not so well cared for, let's say. Oh, these stones are heavy. 150 kilograms. I'll tell you what, that must be one strong farmer who moved these. I think another lesson I've learned is to always ask the locals as well. Don't just follow your Google Maps or whatever. Talk to the people in the know. So thanks for coming on this adventure with me. We got there in the end, walking around in circles. I'll see you on the next one.